People of YouTube, don't be alarmed, because I have my own very own stand. Okay? Come on. Come on, Steven. You can do it. Steven? Sit. Step. Steven? Step. Oh. He was just here a minute ago. What the? You know what? He must be sleeping. He must be sleeping. Steven? Right? Huh. Guess I don't have a stand after all. I'm sorry for lying. I love you. Don't hate me. Hello, people of YouTube. 'Tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, here today to give you guys another anime review. And it has been an anime review long past overdue. I've been waiting to do this anime review for quite some time, ever since I quite finished its first season. I'm pretty excited to finally do the anime review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. Now, before I get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders story, major spoiler alert for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, as this review will contain a shit ton of spoilers of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. So if you have not seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, don't watch this review. You have been warned. Okay? So don't leave a comment saying I spoiled it for you, because I really warned you. So there. And unlike JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, I can actually explain to you the story of Stardust Crusaders. So here it goes. So the story of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders follows Jotaro Kujo, the next man in the line of the Joestar family, as he locks himself in prison because he claims that he was possessed by an evil spirit. Well, Joseph Joestar comes back from New York to Japan to let Joseph know that what he has is not really what he thinks it is not an evil spirit, but really an embodiment of his soul, which is called a stand. And with this stand, he basically travels to Egypt because Dio Bronte has been brought back to life. If you don't remember Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, like I said, major spoiler alert, this is basically the antagonist of the part 1, where basically when Jonathan Joestar was still around. Well, now, he's been brought back to life. He's been locked up in like some coffin for like over 100 years, and he's brought back to life. And it's up to it's basically up to Joseph and Jotaro, along with the help of 3 other people that he'll meet. You have Abdul, Polnareff, and Kakyoin, as they set off to Egypt to find Dio and end him once and for all, to save the life of Joseph's mother, Holly. That is a mouthful, okay? So, people of YouTube, I reviewed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, I believe back in May. I believe it was around May that I reviewed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. And quick thoughts about it. I liked the anime. There were a shit ton of issues that I had with it, but for the most part, I really did enjoy it, and it was a good recommendation for people kind of who wants to watch shonen action animes for the first time. I will point you towards JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. So, one of my friends told me that, if you didn't really like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, wait until you watch Stardust Crusaders, because that is when it gets really good. And I also, again, want to mention special shout out to Space Tanish Invader, who recommended me to watch the series. So, still, man, thank you for letting me watch the series. So I was able to review JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012 from later. And now I'm able to review JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. And yes, people, before anyone asks, when it finishes, I mean, not immediately when it finishes, but, as soon as I get to it, I will be reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable. You just gotta give me some time, and I gotta wait until it finishes. And besides, I'm a little bit JoJo Bizarre Adventure burnt out at this point. But needless to say, I was very interested in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. So what are my thoughts about it? Well, let's find out. People of YouTube, as I try to pose an awesome stance. No? No? Okay, I promise I won't do that ever again. So the first and biggest thing I will give JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012 is, of course, the animation. It's basically the same as it was back in the first season, where it's so different. It's like every time when a situation happens, you know, like the color changes, the mood changes, and like the characters' designs and colors are just different during a situation. And the animation is very solid. I especially love the designs of the stands. The stands throughout the entire series that you're going to meet are all interesting, all have their freaking unique design, and I absolutely love what they're giving with these stands. I absolutely love them. What else? The story. The story of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012, but Stardust Crusaders is way better than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. The story of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012 wasn't bad per se. I just really, it was just a bit, I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but it's kind of done before, I would say, you know, about a mask and, yeah, it's a pretty forgettable story. But this time, it's actually a very straightforward story about these group of guys trying to head to Egypt to face off Dio. I absolutely love the story this time around. It's very interesting, and it'll keep you engaged throughout the entirety of the show. Another thing that I like about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to Stardust Crusaders, I'm about to keep saying 2012, were the characters, okay? This time around, the characters aren't really kind of what you think it is, particularly about its main character, Jotaro. I absolutely love what they did with Jotaro. You see, in most shonen action animes, the main character is kind of your always happy-go-lucky kind of, you know, I will save the day kind of stuff, always happy, and he's just too happy-go-lucky at some points. Well, not this time around, because what they did with Jotaro is very different from all the other shonen action animes. And this time, he's a delinquent. He, you know, likes to beat people up. And it's kind of, you know, not what you expect from a shonen action main protagonist. Because, you know, once you think of, you know, shonen main characters, you know, you always think of the happy-go-lucky kind of guys who like to eat a lot of food and stuff. It's not the case with Jotaro, and I absolutely love what they did with it. He really reminds me a lot of Ichigo from Bleach, to be honest, because, you know, their personalities were kind of the same, how Ichigo was kind of a delinquent, but at points, Ichigo was kind of always happy-go-lucky, but this time, Jotaro was always like a straight-faced, cool guy, and, you know, he's a delinquent, and freaking, you know, he's a very different kind of shonen main character, and I absolutely love that. Next, we got one returning character from 2012, Joseph Joestar. This time around, I mean, granted, I did like Joseph in the first season. I found him very likable, very energetic, and very, very cool. I absolutely like Joseph. This time around, he's much older, he's much wiser, and you really feel a kind of a strong bond between him and Jotaro. And not to mention the fact that he's got his whole running gag with, saying, "Oh no," or "Oh shit." It's kind of funny. I absolutely love it. And I think Joseph Joestar is honestly, you know, really definitely changed from 2012. I absolutely liked what they did with Jotaro. And the same thing goes with basically the rest of the members of the squad, or the Stardust Crusaders, because, I mean, come on. You know, you see these 5 dudes, you know, it's just, nah, they're a squad. I absolutely love all the characters, especially what they did with Polnareff. I absolutely like Polnareff. In what my issue is, which we'll kind of get about into a little bit, but I like how they give a lot of focus and a lot of attention to Polnareff, but not really to Kakyoin or Muhammad Abdul. I absolutely love both of those characters. I feel like they're really stellar characters, but I kind of, wish that they hadn't really focused more on Polnareff. And you know, we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The action of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Fucking intense. Very awesome, okay? It's basically kind of what the last season was like. You know, it was all, over the top, very bizarre, kind of action scenes, and they worked. The action scenes in the anime were engaging, were enthralling, and will definitely keep you towards the edge of your seat, especially the last 4 episodes in that whole action scene then. Probably the best action scene in the entire series. I absolutely love the last 4 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's including the 2nd season. Before anyone asks, yes, I saw both seasons. Yeah, so I'm basically kind of talking highly about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. But fear not, people. There are a bit of issues that I had with it. Pertainingly a few, okay? Number 1, the various shonen cliches out there. There's so many shonen cliches present throughout JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. The over-analysis, over-explanations upon a situation. Okay, I know what he did. He flipped the car. You didn't have to say he flipped the car. I saw him flip the car. Oh, he punched me. I saw you punch me. You didn't have to say he punched me even though I just saw him punch you. Seriously, you're losing a lot of blood. I can tell. You're losing blood. You didn't have to say he's losing blood. Okay? You know, middle of the action scenes. Oh, a backstory. Oh my god. And then how they take so long. The inner monologues. The wins, characters are, in dire straits, in a dire situation, and how they're in their inner monologues. Oh my god, I cannot win this situation. It's so impossible. Oh, I can't win. Oh no. And then they, some bullshit comes out of their ass, and then fucking, they win. Just a lot of shonen cliches are present throughout the anime, and it's one thing that, some were kind of handled interestingly, but most were just really freaking cliche, and they didn't really put in a lot of effort to those cliches. It's just a very cliche shonen anime. And that's kind of what I had, this is kind of the main issue that I had with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. Like I mentioned before, the overanalyzation of a situation. Okay, yes, I know, you've been punched. You didn't have to say you punched. I grabbed my pants. Oh, we didn't know that you had to grab your pants. Shit, stop talking. Oh, it's so annoying how they always do that in these shonen action animes. Stop it. Stop it. Seriously. Stop it. Another issue that I had with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure pertains around, the team that is the Stardust Crusaders, okay? Because obviously that's what they are. They're the Stardust Crusaders. The main 5 teams. I like all of the characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. I absolutely love them. But I kind of mentioned this before, but I really wished that they gave a lot of focus and attention to Avadul and Kakyoin, because they definitely gave a lot of focus to Polnareff. And albeit Polnareff is a very interesting character. He, out of all the characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, he is my second favorite. Jotaro just stole the show because Jotaro is awesome. But I do kind of wish that they kind of had focused more about Avadul and Kakyoin. Like, Kakyoin had, so much potential and being a really more interesting character, yet they didn't really give him the time of day to really be focused on. Especially Avadul. I'm more heartbroken about Avadul. And just how they did his character. I have not to say that he's a bad character per se. Like I said, I like all of the characters. But I do wish that they kind of focused a little bit more on Avadul instead of Polnareff. Even though Polnareff is a very interesting character, I kind of wanted more screen time and a lot of focus and attention about Kakyoin and especially Abdul. I mean, we already have, Joseph. We all know all the things about Joseph, and Jotaro's the main character, so we're obviously supposed to grow attached to them. But I do wish that they kind of focused a lot on Abdul and Kakyoin. That's just me. Oh. And my last two issues, they're completely separate, but my last two issues are this. Dio. I'm a bit disappointed about Dio. I mean, they kind of emphasize that Dio is this unstoppable person on how he is what he is, and that he can he's very menacing and all that stuff, but yet he's barely in the anime to begin with. Like throughout the first and second season, and besides the end, you rarely will ever get a scene with Dio. And, sometimes I kind of even forget that Dio isn't even in the anime because he was barely in it. And he's kind of lackluster. But I will give him this. He kind of makes up for it in the last 4 episodes. But yet, he really didn't really do anything. All he did was send out a bunch of dudes to do his own dirty work, and just, he was kind of lackluster. I'm sorry. And especially on how he ends up dying. Oops, spoiler. But how the last fight on how it ends was very anticlimactic. Like, really? That's how that ends? It's just Dio was pretty lackluster. And again, like, sometimes I even forget that he was I forget that he was basically in the anime. Like, that's how lackluster he was, and how anticlimactic it was at the end. And my last issue, the various cop-out. They cop out on a lot of things in this anime. Especially certain characters that could have potentially died and would have stayed dead, but yet they always bring them back, and that was a cop-out. But, that's all well and done. But that is it for my review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. It's not bad, actually. It's actually way better than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. In fact, I had a much better time watching Stardust Crusaders than I did with 2012 JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. In fact, it's going to get a higher grade than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 2012. I'm actually going to give Stardust Crusaders a 9 out of 10. I think that it is a really epic anime, and I do recommend you watch Stardust Crusaders, especially if you kind of persevered through watching 2012. Yes, and you're gonna have to watch 2012 to understand the actual anime itself, but trust me, it's all worth it when you get to Stardust Crusaders, because Stardust Crusaders is absolutely the best season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I had a fucking blast watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. It is far superior than to 2012. I absolutely loved Stardust Crusaders, and it gets a solid 9 out of 10. And that right there, people of YouTube, is going to officially wrap this video up. Yes, like I mentioned before, I will review Diamond is Unbreakable. It just needs to finish, and I'm gonna wait longer because I've been marathoning this anime for almost over 2 weeks. It took me a week each to finish these 2 seasons. I need to watch something short for a while, okay? But that's gonna wrap this video up. Stay tuned because I hope to review Bangoku no Stray Dogs. I can't wait to review that. Also, I might bite the bullet and watch The Big Order. I don't know, maybe, because I've heard it's a big order of shit. So, yeah, we'll have to see. But other than that, people of YouTube, thank you guys for sticking to it, and I appreciate your viewership, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Crimson Assassin signing out. Peace, YouTube.